This today's session is very important for you guys. Okay. For data science people, we won't mostly prefer this concept, but when you are going for artificial intelligence, definitely you will get to know. You will definitely going to use this OOPS concept. So we discussed about print of what is this called a function. So this function are used to make a multiple line in a single chunk. But when you are going for a class, you need to give a class name. Inside class, you are going to give a multiple function. So this is how your class works. So function which is used to group it out multiple statement, and a class which is used to group it out multiple functions. So define main one, and then I am just giving a print, and I am giving a second function. So now let me save, giving into desktops, and I'm just saving this. And when I am executing this, you are not getting any result because we need to call the function. See guys, here you need to make some understand the intent space. So I'm just giving enter, and inside the class I am calling a main. So you got the function. And inside the class, see, I have one intent space. This intent space is a part of class, not the part of function. So if it's part of function means, then you need to give a one more intent space. So the more intent space you are giving, the blocks get changed, correct? So now I am giving inside the class, not inside the function. So you will get the output like this. In case, if you want to call outside to the function, then you need to give a class name dot function name and class name dot function name like this. So when you are executing this, you will get the output. So if you are calling inside to the class, only one intent space next to the functions, if you are just defining, that's fine. If you want to call outside to the class, then you need to tell class name dot function name, because we need to tell from this class, from this function you need to use. So like this, we need to call the function. Sorry, yeah. The next thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define one variable name. After I define this variable name, here I am giving a print of A. So as like same, you will get the output 78. Because here we have a print of A, so it will come this line and this line it will print, so we'll be getting output. In case, if you are not printing this print of A here, if you want to print outside to the class, then the same print of class name dot variable name. So like this, we need to handle it. So always, if it's an inbuilt function or you are planning to call some variable name, always we need to give a dot symbol. So that's the reason we are giving here. So this is a basic syntax and the structure regarding your class. So any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, I will move to the next. I am opening a Python shell. Okay, guys. A equal to 23. If I want to access this 23 value, how we will access? You will give a print of A. You will get the value of 23, correct? So this you guys are aware of. Now I am telling you 12 plus 34. You didn't assign anything to this variable name, okay? Now you got 46. Now if I am asking you to access this 46, how you will access it? Python by default, it will store the how to say, it will store the values. If user doesn't give a variable name, means Python will store the particular value in underscore. Okay, so if you are giving a print of underscore, you can able to get 46. I am giving underscore into 2, you will get the value. See, so if you are defining a variable name, you can able to access by it. in case if user doesn't give a variable name in this Python shell means by default, this interpreter will store this value in the name of underscore. Okay, so now again I am giving 23 plus 45. So underscore, you will get 68. Okay, so this is a very simple thing. I hope you don't have any doubt in this. Now, what I'm going to do here is I am creating only underscore as a variable name. Okay, equal 89. So print of underscore, now what will be the result? 89, the recent value, correct? So we got the output. Now it must be little confusing one, the next step. Kindly observe it. So now what I'm going to do here is I am giving some other value without variable name now. Now the value 90. So what now we used to think is, now the underscore value will update with the 90, correct? This is what we think, but actually no. I will tell why. I'm giving a print of underscore, you get 89 only. Now we don't know in which name this 90 is saved. I really don't know, because I tried with a lot of documentation and I tried with a lot of stuffs, but I didn't get this 90 to know in which variable name it's actually saved. But probably some variable name it got saved, we don't know. So now actually what Python is doing here is, if user give a variable name as only underscore, I repeat, if user give a variable name only underscore, if you are giving something without variable name, this one it won't update with the user defined variable name. Okay, so this one it won't affect the user defined variable name. The very first thing you guys needs to understand. So after this, yeah, so it's a very first thing you guys needs to understand. But practically, we will never use only underscore as a variable name. As we are as a developer, we will never use only underscore as a variable name, correct? Till now, you guys never created only variable name as a only underscore as a variable name, correct? So that's the logic behind this. Okay, so by default, without variable name, Python storing the particular value to underscore. If user define a variable name as only underscore, the without variable name, it will never get update. But we will never create only underscore as a variable name, because it won't give the readability for us. So for that perspective, we don't need to worry much about this concept. But this is some hidden concept. You can't able to get it from a Google or something. So knowing these things is actually good to start with the Python. So these are some small, how to say, some tricky kind of stuffs which is actually available in our Python. Okay. So do you guys having any doubt in this?
No.
Super. So I guess you guys now understand, as a single underscore in a Python, okay, it is act like a variable name. Okay, the single underscore in a prefix or suffix, for example, underscore a equal to 23 or a underscore 34, this single underscore concept will always work as a variable name. So for your better understand, I am giving for underscore in range of 10. You guys know this for loop. So print of underscore, you got the output. So by using a single underscore, it is always leads to a variable name. So why I am now talking about this underscore is, I told you before we are starting with the data type, underscore is having some unique feature in Python, correct? Now we are going to discuss all that unique features about underscore. Now we discuss about single underscore, either it's in a suffix or prefix, it doesn't bother. Will getting that as a variable name. The very first thing you guys needs to be cleared. The second thing is, what I am asking you guys to do here is, let's make a command. and I am giving double underscore some name, double underscore. This method is known as strongly private identifier. Okay, I will explain what is the strongly private identifier. Then double underscore something. This is known as private identifier. That's all, guys. So yeah. So as you are having double underscore something, double underscore and double underscore something, this two concept we are now going to discuss. Okay. Let me open my previous function. Okay, guys. Here, now I am going to handle double underscore doc double underscore. Okay, I think even with the list directory, we will get that, I guess. But I'm not sure. Let me check. See, you are having something like this, right? So now I am going to explain about this thing. So what is this documented string and why we need this? Okay. So this double underscore doc double underscore, which is known as documented string. Okay. Now you are going to develop one API or one framework, or probably you are going to create one full algorithm. Okay, as you guys are for data science, so you are planning to create one full algorithm. See, when you are going for a company, there is a two kind of data scientists we can able to get into. In case if you are going into MNCs like CTS, TCS, whatever the MNCs is, you are not going to do anything new. They will give a data set. You need to process, you need to apply algorithm, that's all. The same, if you are going for a startup, actually you will get the more learning curve. That's a very important thing you guys need to understand. So in those kind of scenario, one of my candidates, she selected in near Alsur Lake, some company. I forgot the company name, but it's not a MNC, it's a small company. They are actually developing their own algorithm. See, algorithm, that means mathematical concept. So about this, we'll be discussing by Monday. It's a complete theory class. That will be complete theory class. So when you are getting one complete max, so I am giving you the max, subtract two numbers. Now if I am asking you to write in program, how you guys will write? A minus B, you will write it, right? So now you are making the complete stuff to integrate with some application. Okay. So now what we need to do for that perspective is you need to create a class. Inside a class, you will make a define function, and inside function, you will write all the code, and then you will call the function, then it will start to work fine. That's all. Yes, as a data scientist, we will create a model and we will give it to the developers because there is a two different role. One is developer and another one is a data scientist. Developer, they will develop the applications. Data scientists, they will build the models. So once you created the models, you will give your model to front end or back end developers. They will write, they will modify your models. Then they will integrate your models to your application. So until if you are developing any AI or something, we need to host it in some application, then only it starts to work fine. So in those kind of scenario, we used to develop a class. So while I am developing a class or something, I need to take some notes. So I want to take a notes for this class. So where to take a notes? We can't able to make as a comment because comment is for a single line. But I want to tell one complete paragraph where that paragraph is going to tell about all the explanation about the code and all the tricks and some hidden stuffs about my code. So for that perspective, in Python, usually what we will do is next to the class, we will make some string. Usually the string is triple quotes because to make a multiple lines, we always prefer string triple quotes, right? And this is a sample class. which have one variable name and two functions, and this is an simple example. Okay, so now I make a notes about this class. Okay, now what I am actually asking you guys to do here is, so when you are just printing this line, it will never get print. The reason is this is a string, but it doesn't have a print statement. So when I am executing this, you will be getting only 78. That 78 is where you give a name. Okay, so now I want to print this document. I want to print this string. So now print of class name dot double underscore doc double underscore. It's a documented string. When I am executing this, you will get your documented string and you will get your number as well. So if some string, if you are giving next to the class, okay, it may be any string, even it's a single or double or triple. It may be any string. If it's next to the class, then it will be considered as a documented string. So the documented string, which is used to make a complete notes about your class or a function or something. And now for you guys to better understand this better, I'm going here and I'm giving a print and I'm just ending this with the normal stuff. Okay. Now this is a normal print statement. Now I am executing this. So you will be getting this as a in the first line. The reason is the print. Then you will be getting a 78. And for this documented string, see the result, we are getting a none. See, we are getting none. So if your documented string, it must be next to the class without print. If it comes with a print, then it will be considered as a normal print statement. Okay. Now what we are going to do here is, I'm just copying this variable name and I am giving next to the class. And next to the variable name, now we are having the string. Let me execute this. You have a 78, that is for your A, and for documented string, we have a none. Okay. So now, when you are just typing this thing, when you are just executing this, now this is not considered as a documented string. So Python will consider your documented string if it's next to the class, not next to the variable name, the very first thing which you need to understand. The second thing what you need to understand here is, we don't have a multi-line comments, correct? So what we used to do is, if I want to comment multi-lines, what I will do is, I will make triple quotes here. So now this complete line is actually a string, but it won't print, print in my output. And it is not going to perform anything else. Even it won't consider as a documented string, because documented string, it must be next to the class. So now I can able to hide this lines from my code without commenting by using this triple quotes. But using this triple quotes, it's not a multi-line comment here. It won't show in the input, it won't show in the output. So people are using this triple quotes as a multi-line command, but it's not actually a better idea, but it's not, how to say, there is nothing there is nothing wrong like giving like this. Okay, so this all the things you guys needs to understand. So we don't have a multi-line command, so people are using like this, but that's not advisable, but using that is not a bad idea as well. So this double underscore doc double underscore, how it will work is, it will work only the string without print next to the class, not next to something else. So it is actually executing some unique functionality. That means if it's next to class, only it will execute, otherwise it won't execute. So due to this unique functionalities, we are calling this as a strongly private identifier. That nothing but it's strongly, it is very strong as a private stuff. We can't able to access in a something in some other different way. You have only one way to access that. That one way you can't never change that. So that's the reason we are calling this as a strongly private identifier. All this double underscore is a strongly private identifier. Still, I will explain a little more about double underscore. As of now, guys, tell me, is documented string is clear?
Yeah.
Can you please explain it once again? Because I missed out the connectivity.
See, this document, this double underscore doc double underscore is a very unique concept where you can't able to change anything from this double underscore doc double underscore. And the string, if you are giving next to the class, that will be considered as a double underscore doc double underscore. If you are not giving next to this class, then it will be considered as a normal string. It's not a documented string. And the normal string, it won't print in your output. So you are not getting this to be printed here, and the documented string is getting a none. And the documented string is used to give some notes. Okay. Please take care of the connectivity, Jay. This because of this all big concept again and again explaining will be a very difficult task now.
Oh yes, I understand.
Because if I am repeating all tasks again and again, there is no need of batches, right?
Yeah. Yes. And the connectivity went on. Okay, fine.
So Priya, for you, is it clear?
Yeah, clear.
So now you guys understand about a single double underscore doc double underscore. Now I'm going to take a one more double underscore concept. It will be a another confusing concept. Okay, the very toughest concept in Python is, you can tell this understanding about this double underscore. If you guys understand this double underscore concept, then Python becomes very easier for us. So now what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to create a class, and the class is having a function like define main, and inside this main what I'm just going to do here is a equal to 23 and b is equal to 34 and c equal to a plus b, and define main 1, and I'm just giving a equal to 45, b is equal to 56 and the c equal to a plus b, and the print of c. So you guys know, when I'm just going to call this function, it will give the a plus b of this and a plus b of this. This a and this a are totally different, because when we are creating inside this main, this will become local variable. That means you can able to access this a only with the main. You can able to access this a, you can able to access with the only main one. So that's the reason we are calling this as a local variable. So this you guys understand. So now the same function, the same variable name, but with the different function names. So it's going to perform a plus b only, but with different values. You are making it in a different function. So instead of doing this, what we can able to do is, we can able to go ahead with the constructor. So usually what is known as a construct? Construct means building something, right? So you are also going to build something in your part. So usually when the peoples are developing some artificial intelligence concept, they always used to prefer this constructor. So for data science, we won't go ahead with this constructor part, but still if you are aware of this, that's cool. So, but when you are going for this artificial intelligence, those kind of advanced thing, you can't simply skip this constructor. So constructor is used to building something, to build something. So what now you are going to build? Now you are going to build variable name. What are the variable name that you are going to use? And what is the function the particular variable name is going to perform? And you are going to
ಮತ್ತೆ
tell,
ಏನಕ್ಕೆ KMP ಅಂತಿದೆ?
and you are going to tell the values which you are going to pass inside the OOPS concept. So next to the class, so we just define a class name. Now define double underscore init double underscore. Okay. So kindly record the session, Jai. This you definitely need one more revision stuff. So define constructor, this double underscore init double underscore. It's when you are using this is nothing but initiating. That means you are going to initiate something. Okay. So now inside this bracket, you need to pass two arguments that is mandatory. Now I want to use a comma b. Okay, a plus b. So in the next line, let's we just have this next line as a pass. Pass is another keyword which is used to just prevent from error. Now I am not giving any argument or any values here, but I just want to keep it out this for my future purpose. So I am just using a pass. And now define main. What I am just going to do here is this define main is going to return a plus b. Okay. Now I want to make a connection between this constructor and this main. Okay. So for that perspective, I am going to use one argument. The argument is a common argument. The common argument, it must be come before the variable name. So self comma a comma b. So self is a common argument. A and b is a variable name. So in the next line, self dot a equal to a and self dot b equal to b. See, self this argument and a this variable name. So instead of using a, you need to use a self dot a. So here I given a plus b. Instead of, you need to give a self dot a. So here you given a b. So this b you already assigned to another variable name. So you need to use self dot b. Okay. So this is a constructor part and this is the main part. So when you are just, you need to connect this constructor and the main. So you need to use this common argument. Here is self. So self is not a keyword. This is for common argument. Instead of self, you can use any name. I repeat, instead of self, you can use any name. And this constructor part is a syntax. So syntax means you are not going to change anything. So this meaning only I can able to explain. The reason we are making like this kind of format is this is a syntax. I repeat, the reason is I explained here, but that meaning that we are making this thing because this is a syntax. So I made the constructor and self is a common argument and you are going to use a plus b. So a comma b. And instead of using a, you need to give the common argument dot variable name. Instead of using the b, you need to give a common argument dot b equal to b like this. So this is known as your constructor part. This define init. So the next thing is define function name, and here we are using a self because this self will establish the connection between the constructor and your function name. And instead of using a, you are using a self dot a, which you already defined here, and a self dot b like this. So this is a syntax we need to follow for the building the constructor. So building the constructor, this method we are using because this is a syntax. I repeat, this method we are using because this is a syntax. Now I need to pass a values to a and b. You just define what are the variables. So simply telling in this init, you give what are the variables you are using, and this function you give what is that function is going to perform. Okay. So I repeat, here you are giving what are the variable name that you are using, and here you given what is that function is going to perform. Okay. Now you need to pass a values to this a and b. So for that perspective, variable name, class name, inside this 12 comma 23 I given. Okay, here you are using a return, you are not using a print statement. So for that perspective, we need to print this value 12 plus 23 in your output. So I am giving a print of Z is a variable name, and this Z, which is actually holding a class name and the values, I'm going to apply the Z with my main function. So main. Now, instead of the self, you already given a Z. So now what it will do is, you will get the output of 12 plus 23 as a 35. Now, I am just copying the same line here and I am giving here. Now I am just changing its value. Let me execute this. You will get the value. And again I am just giving here. So again I just change the value and I am executing this. You will get some other value. So this constructor is mainly used to define what are the variable name that you are going to use and what is the function that variable name is going to perform. Finally, you can able to pass only the values to that class. So here you are passing only the values to this class. See, here you are passing a values to this class. So the class will perform A plus B. And here also you are doing some, you are passing some values towards this class and it's performing A plus B. So automatically this 45 and 56 will be considered A and B because here you already defined this A and B. And the self is a common argument which is used to establish the connection between your INIT and your function. And instead of using a variable name A, we are using a self.A because this self, this will be all connected together and it will make a perfect function to establish. So self is not a keyword. Instead of self, we can able to use anything. Okay, so this is the concept of your constructor. Okay, now when you are building algorithms, we will definitely use this constructor. The reason is you will first need to tell the rules. The rules are nothing but you are going to use all these variable names and this variable names are perform for this it needs to perform something like this and for this it needs to perform something like this. So you are telling some functions. So when you are giving some values to this constructor, it will make to work perfectly. So instead of making a very huge part in your program, by using a constructor, we can able to reduce the thing. Okay, as we are simply going ahead with the A plus B, you guys can know even by the normal function argument also we can able to do this A plus B. Then what's the point of going ahead with the constructor? You will get those kind of questions. But when you are going to develop the very advanced algorithms, that time this constructor part will reduce your code from 20 lines to 10 lines. So that's the reason we are using a constructor. And a constructor is a memory efficient one. That's the reason we are using a constructor. You guys, I know it will be a little confusing concept. So that's the reason I just asked you guys to first to work out this for today. So tomorrow, if you are going ahead with inheritance and all those things, that it won't get too much stuff. And I want to tell you one more thing. A equal to 34, B is equal to 56, A plus B. Instead of this A plus B, what you can given is A dot double underscore add double underscore B like this. Okay. So instead of plus, you are using this method. So you will get the answer. So simply what I am trying to tell here is this plus is overloaded with this double underscore add double underscore, which is known as a operator overloading. That means plus is an operator which is replaced with this built-in function double underscore add double underscore. When you are giving a plus, your Python will understand with this name of this add something. So all the double underscore concept It's all used to make Python to understand some functions. So this add will used to understand about plus, and this directories which is used to understand about the directories. Python is not converting to zeros and to ones. So for that perspective, we are having all this double underscore concept. So guys, its meeting is about to disconnect. Kindly connect again.